Welcome to Cold Takes with Hunter Konuszewski. You want to tell us, is that the right way to pronounce it?
Konuszewski.
Shusky.
Like you're shusking corn.
All right, beautiful.
Yeah.
Quentin's best friend from college. We know each other kind of well, but we're gonna learn more in the next
Absolutely.
hour.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be on.
You're talking to this thing.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be on.
Well, anytime. So we just got back from a round of golf today. Had a rough time, I think, the three of us. Hunter, you did all right, but seems to be the story. It's the Van Hoosers against,
The world.
yeah, pretty much. We're losing. That seems to be the storyline that carries over the most. But we're just waiting for the last dance there, the last two episodes. Y'all excited?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you know my thoughts so far on it.
I mean, the greatest thing to happen to ESPN in a long time. We can just talk
Agreed.
about that.
Agreed.
ESPN, even before the virus, was struggling.
Well, it's just their rights that they have. They don't have the rights for any sports that actually matter at this moment.
You'd think Disney
It's just
could get
NBA.
that.
They
Yeah.
just have the rights to NBA.
And
Where
I mean,
the top sports of, if you want to get into soccer, if you want to get into football.
yeah, I mean they have some college football games, but even they share the finals with ABC and TNT. It's kind of dumb, but I don't know. So what we were going to talk about tonight is actually college football coming back. So what do y'all think about college football coming back this fall?
I'm optimistic right now.
Yeah.
I got good feelings. I've seen a lot of people out and about, as much as that might offend people and who want this thing to not spread and not spike, but people are out there, world's got to go on in my opinion. And I think as long as school can happen where kids can go to classes, college football happens. It's just going to come down to that.
Yeah.
So I'd love for it to happen.
You only went to one game last year, right?
Yeah, so I worked weekends last year, so I wasn't
Yeah.
able to go to a whole lot of games in Sanford Stadium last year. I was able to attend the SEC championship next to my good friend Quentin.
Was
here.
that your only game last year?
Yeah, unfortunately. I watched every game on TV, but I was unfortunately working at the time.
Yeah. So
So,
you didn't
yeah.
really get to see the Dogs
No,
play
yeah.
last
But,
year.
I was actually planning on this season
Yeah.
going to every single Sanford game.
Go all out.
I was going to go all out, and then
Whereas I think Quinn's kind of on the opposite. You want to work more this season, where you're kind of over the whole fan experience and the whole day tailgating. From what we've talked about the past week or so,
Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
It's so expensive to go to games nowadays,
Yeah.
So it's might as well just save your money for one the best game
Yeah.
rather than do full on season tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you just go with the cheap stuff like some natties, get an iced down cooler, and don't spend your money at the bar, which is where the majority of the money is spent in Athens. In my opinion.
Well, also, I mean, if you want to drink in the stadium, was it $25,000 for a donation to drink some Miller Lights? They got to step their game up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eventually we'll make it there, boys.
Yeah, I went into Tiger Stadium this fall. That's the best part about this past season was seeing Joe twice, both at the SEC championship and then
He is good.
He's ridiculous, man. It's just, I was trying to figure out how can somebody stop him. I just don't think the answer is in college football. I mean, and
No,
they proved
college
that.
football is different than the pros, and I think that's what we'll be able to talk about with Fromm too later on in this.
Yeah. Actually, that leads us to our first question, which is should Fromm?
Are you a Fromm fan?
Fromm, I love him as a guy, man.
All right. Well, let's
So
get into
first
the
you have to
question
preface
first.
this,
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
You didn't have a party with him, show up.
No. Isaac Nato, we did have him come to one of our college parties. Shout out to Isaac.
I
if
think
he's
he got a
listening.
couple reps in at the Lions this past year.
Oh yeah, and I love the Lions. It's we're home state, so I'm from the Lions.
Yeah,
I'm
he's from
Detroit,
Michigan.
so
Yeah.
Lion at heart. But I'm used to work for the Falcons, so tied between the two teams. But if I had to lean,
It's two great
We're going
teams to
to-
choose
we're
between.
going to
yeah,
Nashville.
two great teams.
We're going to Nashville to watch the Lions.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are going to Nashville at the because Lions play Tennessee Titans the end of their season
Yeah.
in Nashville. So we'll be if they have a season that is, we'll be
Yeah.
going to Nashville. But yeah, back to
We're
Fromm.
going to Nashville.
Okay, so we're kind of the main two topics to discuss this episode is college athletics this fall and in the coming year, and then our main question is how will Fromm, Tua, and Burrow fare in the NFL? Which is kind of a loaded
Which
question.
one?
Love
Which
the
one you
question.
want first?
Let's start with Fromm.
I
Let's
love
start
the
with Fromm.
question.
Awful. Move on. Next one.
All right, do you,
Tough
okay,
crowd.
but
Tough
do you
crowd.
think he'll get some reps in? Do you think he will start?
The only way I've enjoyed watching Fromm in college. I saw him come in when Easton went down.
Yeah.
The hype around Fromm was there for me.
2017, man.
Got the jersey with number 11.
Yeah.
You got his jersey?
I don't have Fromm on it, but it
How
says
about
number 11.
11?
So
Okay, all right,
So
that's all right.
you can say Murray too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just one of those.
It's a good jersey to have.
It's good.
but- Yeah.
11,
Yeah.
If people are not Fromm fans, I'll just say it's a Murray jersey.
Well, you also have one of the best tailgate outfits ever with the
The chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you
See,
want to
that's
explain
the
that
thing
one?
Yeah.
about your tailgate outfit and everything. Like, I didn't even know that you had a jersey.
Oh,
to
I
begin
get
with.
it. So I'm a big tailgate guy. Just love the atmosphere. Love being out there with friends.
Yeah.
Love football, man.
Yeah.
But the tailgates are where I thrive.
Tailgates are better than the game.
Some
mean,
people say, yeah.
yeah, I
If you have a bad team, you just go to tailgate. Which
Yeah.
a lot of schools, unfortunately, if they're not,
Georgia
they're
Southern.
not, they're not
So
in the
Georgia
SEC.
Southern.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean-
10 people out there.
I'll make that claim.
That's for Danny. That is for Danny and
For
Brandon.
Danny,
Do you think they'll
listen.
listen to this?
Well, maybe.
We'll send it to them.
Yeah, I'll send it to 'em.
Who
But-
knows who listens?
No, so I had a chef outfit for my tailgate, and literally I didn't wash it all 4 years of college. So I had mustard, ketchup, you name it, any kind of stain on that apron.
That's something.
The shape
I'm not
of the
gonna
chef
say
outfit.
what that is.
Never
That is
washed
something.
it. Wore it to pretty much almost every tailgate that I cooked, and I cooked for all my guests that came over to our place because I love to host.
So what all do you grill?
Mostly burgers, some wieners.
You ever do chicken wings?
Ah,
good old wiener.
I knew you guys would laugh.
Oh
Man.
Oh my god! You ever do chicken wings, man? I've always found.
I did it in college.
Yeah,
We just didn't have. We had a grill for it,
it's
but
a little bit too fancy for that college.
a little
budget.
fancy.
Yeah.
They just want something that's just quick. But
Yeah.
nowadays, I can make a mean chicken wing in the air fryer.
The air
Little
fryer.
plug. If you don't have an air fryer, you need to get on it.
So I've actually wondered about this. Is there like, how hard is it? Is it like for beginners? Like, you know how they have on
An
Lego
air fryer?
boxes the age?
An air
I
fryer?
I wish they had that for
Are
appliances.
you asking about an air fryer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
how-
easy. It's easy.
Easy?
Oh, so
Okay.
easy. Yeah. You just honestly, it just for wings, throw it in.
It's like crockpot on this level. Sort of
yeah.
stuff. Like
Basically,
you
it just
throw it all in there.
it
And
makes the
8 hours
outside of
later, it
any
pops.
food a little crispy,
Mm.
and juicy on the inside. So you
Healthy.
can make
fairly healthy too.
It's
You're not putting it in the fry.
80% less fats.
Not in
Wow,
the fry.
man.
You're not putting it in like the oil to fry.
One of my friends is quarantined with his dad right now, and he was saying that he just like literally chopped up a potato into strips like that, and he said it worked. I was
French
like,
fries, baby.
I mean, that kind of like blew my mind.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was just that
What?
easy.
The air fryer.
What-
Oh, my bad.
All right. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Huh?
so like, say Josh Allen gets injured, you see Fromm coming in.
Dude.
I mean, Josh Allen honestly
Is
didn't have a
Fromm- Is
bad.
Fromm the RB2? I mean,
QB2.
QB2.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
maybe he could be backup running back with that 5'4",
But is he
40.
is he the QB2?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe
he's
so.
I mean, if he goes down, then he'll go in, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll give him a few reps, and
But
he can shock us all. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. I know this is crazy.
Did you
'cause
ever think
you can't
that-
compare him to the GOAT, but Tom Brady did come in after an injured
Okay.
player.
Yeah.
And
So
look
that-
at his draft pick.
That's
was
my next
almost-
question.
Wasn't he right around?
Did you ever think
I
that
really-
he was going to the Patriots?
I 100% did because we had
From him.
Oh yeah, I thought he was.
we
I
had
was like,
people
oh.
tell us that Belichick was in town the night before his decision. And like I didn't know Fromm was making his decision, but there was all this kind of like weird atmosphere on campus because there was a basketball game the night before, and people said that he was going to
Before his decision to go pro?
yeah the night
Oh,
before, and everybody's like he's gonna come out at halftime and make it his like his whole decision, and that was the night Red Panda was there, who's the chick who throws the cups
Right,
on
Red
her.
I
Panda.
always missed that all
Yeah,
4 years.
Red Panda is
Red Panda
a
is different level.
sight. Yeah,
I missed it.
I was like, I would be pissed.
Not-
if Fromm
not
comes
from
out. It's Red Panda.
Beauty, but more from like skill level.
Beauty,
or
too.
Not, well,
I mean,
I
she's
don't
like
wanna-
60, but
We don't want to objectify women.
Just
on
the
this show.
art of tossing plates on your head while balancing is just that's an art.
it's incredible.
I think it's like ninja
After this
stuff.
podcast, I'll have to show you guys my juggling skills. I can juggle.
Can you do it right now? What does it take? Like juggling.
What's the
wise,
best
like,
thing you
like
juggle
tennis
with?
balls.
Just all right.
Yeah.
We have like 4 or 5 like random balls.
We'll do
Can
it
you do
later.
golf balls? Is that easier
No,
or harder?
Can't. My
Just
hand-eye
tennis ball?
coordination is gone now.
I can't even hit a golf ball. We found that out today.
Today we did. There's some bad golfing out there.
Yeah. Well,
back to Fromm. So yeah, I think if he gets in, I think he'll produce. I really do. I'm not going to sleep on him because I don't sleep on a dog, and I never have, even when he lost this many championships.
Where do you think
he?
All right.
Oh, man.
Where do you think he ranks though? Like, if he does play in the NFL, like, do you think he's better than any? Do you think he could get a starting job somewhere?
Better
else?
than like a Andy Dalton.
Any of the
It's
32.
I mean, I think Jacob Eason's probably better than him.
Yeah.
And I think Eason will struggle.
Where did he end up going, by
Colts.
the way?
We've always,
that's right.
even in college, people always said, Fromm might be the better quarterback now in college.
But
it was a close call because Eason got hurt, so it's too early to say. But people always said Eason was going to be the better NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
I think that might be true. He's just tall. He sees the field. He has a cannon for an arm.
What are the chances out of Fields, Fromm, and Eason that all three of them make it in the NFL?
Like make it have a long
Fields
career?
probably has the best chance.
Maybe 5 years. You think between the three of them?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Come on, dude. He just went.
All right.
He just went to the
unless he doesn't get playing
semifinal.
time, then he'll just leave the team, go to another team.
Maybe that can be the third
Who
question.
cares?
Is because we're kind of making this up as we go. Is about Fields, something about Fields, because I know I have a lot of unpopular opinions, and as
He was at a softball game seeing his sister before all this COVID
She
thing
goes to
happened.
Georgia?
Yeah.
She's on a softball team.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Support
So
this.
Is it Jaden?
I can't remember. I only worked a couple
Look around.
softball games. We can find out. Yeah.
It's
I
had
had
a
a
class.
computer.
No, I didn't have a class of Fields.
Oh yeah, that was the funny part.
I was
So,
outside of class.
oh, you did?
Justice Fields.
No, that's Justice Mills. Come
Justice
on, man.
Mills.
Now, understand.
They named it.
Okay, well, all right.
Justice and Justice.
I really only worked.
No.
It is Jaden Fields. my
No,
bad.
no. Justice Mills is a completely not like even.
She's a
close.
badass softball player, though.
She
really
is not even connected to Justin Fields.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But the funny story that I did have was I had a intro to personal finance class, a very BS class to start. Literally like like 5 days after the Sugar Bowl, in which he was transferring to Ohio State, in which he announced. And I walk into the class, and I go in there. I found one of my buddies. His last name is starts with a G, so right around that range. So he goes, it says his name, and immediately after, our teacher's brand new, and she says, taking roll. She's like, Justin Fields, and she had no idea who she was announcing. And then he had already transferred at that point.
I saw
And it
him
was
his first week on campus, and it was in the ECV parking deck.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize who he was either because I wasn't huge into football.
Anytime you see anyone like that, Fields, Fromm, walking on campus.
Oh, the best was seeing Swift because he was always the only times I saw him was on main campus, and he was dappered down to the tens, in a suit.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
As
but
you should be.
I always saw him on the fanciest of days, I guess.
As you should be.
But
No, he held the door for me to the indoor practice.
did you say he was super nice? He was
He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, we're all choking up at our glimpses of fame with these guys.
You know what I wish? My biggest regret in college was not approaching them more.
Yeah.
And, because I feel like it was kind of a thing where you don't approach them.
Yeah.
And you don't ask for autographs or not.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, I was like, well, they've said no.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
I had a class with J.R. Reed, and it was our job to do mock interviews because it was one of the throwaway classes, and there was a lot of athletes in there, and it was just an elective, and we had to do mock interviews because I think it was career and education preparation was the name of the course or something like that, and I was like, J.R., if you didn't make it in football, what would you want to do? Is esports. I kill shit at Apex.
that's cool,
dude. And he tweets out all the time, anyone down for some Apex right now? Which I don't know anything about, but he said
You play Apex?
I don't know.
No.
You don't know if you play.
I don't.
No.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. That's
So
pretty
here's
cool.
the dilemma I'm faced with.
With
That
Fromm?
no.
Oh, okay.
Nah, that's completely. We're off from.
Okay.
He's not doing anything in the league. So
Yeah.
It's tough. This guy's hurt.
Yeah.
So should I take that capture card that I bought and then give it back to GameStop I'm torn because he wants me.
Y'all-
He wants me to continue to play. He wants me to play New Warzone
Dude,
with
oh
him.
my gosh! So yeah,
But here's the thing: it's like, and I would have to take back that card or that capture card.
So you got to explain this. So Quentin bought a capture card to do an event for Grady.
So you can do it for live broadcasting and
Yeah.
all that. So you basically just like can hook up and all that. It's a very
Right,
techie,
right.
boring thing. So, but here's the thing: I give it back. It was $170. What PS4 is $270. Give it back.
and then you can
And
play
then-
yourself.
Y'all
And then
leave
you
a
can
comment.
play-
Should Quentin do this? or
Oh,
not?
so then you can get your own console.
Yeah, because at that point it's only an extra $100, and because
Yeah.
Warzone's free,
honestly,
then we can
like
play.
the whole capture thing is awesome because you can get really good content. But I would
But
rather
why?
have you and other friends join our squad so we can all play together and actually hang out as friends.
What
Then go famous. That's
is it?
how much.
Is
you
it
need
called
to
a
be.
clan? Is it called
That's
a
a lot right
clan
there.
or what is it called?
A regime? Or
Regime.
regime.
Regiment. The regiment.
What's your
Like,
regiment?
when you don't have a
Regime.
resume, you have a resume, pretty much. Oh my gosh.
Regime. Yeah.
So
sorry
y'all
about
leave a
that.
comment. Should Quentin return it and get the cash, or just trade up for a PlayStation? All right. So moving on.
Hey, the Last Dance is going on right now.
Yeah. Well, we have it recorded. So
All right, wrap it up.
No.
because
No.
we got
we got a couple more questions. So all right, let's
Yeah.
get on to
God.
Tua.
All right, Tua. Yeah,
Tua
I
at
think
the
Tua's gonna.
Dolphins.
a bust.
Nah, I don't know.
Bust.
Bust.
I think if he stays healthy, I think he'll be awesome.
I'm just gonna
Bust.
say this statement as probably the cold take for the episode. Tua might be the most overrated college football player of all time.
Tim Tebow.
He did.
Ooh, I mean, but he
Tebow?
didn't.
Like in the league, from college to the leagues.
He's just a good guy.
I think.
Yeah, who cares though? It's football. I don't care
I
about
think
his
even-
religion.
well.
I think even for college football though, like at least
Tua
Tim
will have a
Tebow-
better career than Tim Tebow. in the
I'm
league.
talking about college football though. Tim Tebow had a great career, and like he changed. What did Tua do? He won one natty, which was like what?
Okay, all right, buddy, chill.
It was like
Chill
one
out.
half, man. He didn't do like.
Is he a bit? Did he have it easy in college? Yes, but will he have a better career than Tim Tebow? Of course, yes. That is obvious. Yes, Tim Tebow has one game in which God wanted the Broncos to win. God wanted the Broncos,
Nobody can.
the
give
Denver
it to him.
Broncos, to away. What was it? They started out the season like, I don't know, some ridiculous. They ended up going like barely making it into the playoffs, and then they just win in overtime,
Yeah,
and then they get killed against the Patriots.
yeah.
So I mean, like that's his claim to fame. Then from there, he just hopped from like Patriots to Jets.
So
to,
how many years was Tebow in the league? Like, and do y'all think Tua
Shoot.
will last longer?
Yeah,
Let's see.
he'll last longer. He'll have a better career as long as he's set up and doesn't get hurt. But
I think he'll get hurt within his first year.
I'm a big Tebow guy.
Really?
Football career, not. I'm a big Tebow guy.
oh, so you're
You
not.
ever read any of his books?
No, I didn't fall into that scam.
Reading
He's
his
like the
books?
Sadie
It's not a
Robertson.
scam.
No,
It's
he's
not a
like the
scam.
Sadie Robertson scam. It's like he's such a good dude. Yeah, but like all he has is a college degree in football. What
Look
like
at that.
It's more than that. It's his, I mean, that's like saying like those people who write leadership books. Oh, that's all they have. That's all they write. But no, it's what they write. You know, if you actually apply the leadership principles that they talk about and teach,
yeah.
it actually does change your lives.
Well, I mean, I just think other people have a lot more qualifications to write it than
They
him.
probably do. They probably
Yeah.
do. But it's how he presents it. He uses his story of failure in sports and talks about how he overcame that, and it teaches people how they could overcome
I
obstacles.
mean,
in their
yeah,
life.
he
I
does.
think
have,
a lot
like,
of the
the
times
national
he, like-
He uses
stage.
his negatives more than his positives in his books.
I've listened to him speak at a couple different things, and a lot of times he kind of deflects the blame from himself, though. Like, that's what I kind of have an issue with. In the NFL, it's not his fault. He was on the Jets. He was, like, already destined to fail. It's kind of like the vibe I've got.
Okay,
Maybe
buddy. Have you seen the Jets?
Okay, but, like, if you're, what?
The Jets
most
are
hyped
awful.
college football?
The Jets are awful, Daniel.
Okay.
Case point.
So
I don't
can
even know
anyone
what we're
save the
arguing
Jets?
at this point. All I know is that Tua Tagovailoa have a better career than Tim Tebow. Next question.
I don't think he will.
Joey B. Do I think Joey
No.
B will be great?
Hold on.
I'm very
This is not your
scared.
podcast.
It's about to turn into mine.
All right. No,
Um,
I think Tua will probably be injured and done in the first 2 years. To be
That's-
perfectly
that's-
honest,
Dude, he may not even make it on the field this year because he's still injured.
I
This
hope.
guy's-
I hope he
this guy's a
doesn't, man.
bummer.
Tua's just
It's
not
a bummer,
impressive
man.
to me.
No, I'm talking about this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I am a
Tough.
bummer.
Negative on the last two guys.
I mean-
Is there anyone you are positive about?
No, I am not positive on any of these guys.
On any of the
Because
two.
here's the thing: you hold them to the standard they're gonna turn
Third
into.
place in fantasy this
Okay,
year.
here's the thing. Still made my money back, so who cares? So here's the thing. That's all that matters. Here's the thing. Everyone just holds them to the high standard of the elites of Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. I would say, no, formerly Drew Brees, but I will say Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Give me a couple other guys that are like top, but like everyone wants them to be those guys. But in the end,
right now,
yeah, current. But in the end, they're all just gonna turn into like they're more likely to turn into an Andy Dalton. They're more likely to turn into like, just
See, this is where I think Trevor Lawrence will be like the next
yes.
Peyton Manning. That's been and Peyton Manning is my favorite
I
player
have a
of
theory
all
on
time.
that, sir.
I think Trevor Lawrence, like,
Peyton Manning with wheels.
I have
Yeah.
a theory that the Patriots know what they're doing and they're gonna go get that
so you
man.
think they're going
That's
to get
why.
Trevor next year?
They
No.
have like 12 draft picks, bro.
Trevor Lawrence is going to be an incredible quarterback, I believe, in the NFL.
Lions should take him.
Like,
Get rid of Stafford.
I'm talking like a 12-year quarterback.
Sorry for the Georgia fans who love Stafford, but honestly, like,
They overpay him though.
well,
That's
you know
the
what
big
it
problem.
is. And I'll be honest. It's Pat Stat Matt. Just pats his stats against when they're getting killed every single game.
He does have great
Pat-
third and
Pat
fourth
Stafford.
quarters. Also,
Pat
though.
Stafford. Yeah.
Statford.
Pat Stafford.
He's got to
You
have.
never heard of that? You never heard that?
They just combined them. It's
Yeah,
nice.
Pat
yeah.
Stafford.
Love that.
Nice.
That's creative right there.
Yeah.
All right, so Joey B. Let's talk about him. Do you think he'll do? I mean, is
He'll be
Cincinnati?
alright.
Where
It's hard to overcome like shit
NFL's
like that.
NFL's
Excuse
different
my
competition.
French.
yeah.
Cut that out.
He's a baller. NFL's different competition. I think he'll do well. I do.
I mean,
But
he kind of ran
Cincinnati,
an
dude.
NFL offense this
Cincinnati
past year,
they're
right?
still-
They're awful. Like, how is he going to overcome that? He had some of the best wide receivers though in the league. Or in
Cincinnati has-
college.
And so did Tua, and Joey
Cincinnati
did more
has-
with them.
Cincinnati has a few good
Yeah,
receivers.
but two at this point, like he was injured by the end of last
Cincinnati has a
season.
few good receivers.
Who did? Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Plus,
know.
plus, Alabama's defense wasn't the same after losing Dylan Moses.
I don't know, man.
I
I
think Joe Burrow would do good. If anything,
I think their ceiling is very high,
Yeah.
Burrow
but
just
the
being
likelihood
so who will be better, Joe or Tua?
depends on the situation. That if Tua starts
Really,
playing,
I don't think it's
look at the
close
look
at
at the
all.
conference.
What do you mean?
Which teams play which?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so like Cincinnati, they have to play Ravens, who just like
Ravens.
torched everyone, and they're gonna get better.
Yeah.
They have to play Steelers, who haven't had a losing season in how long?
Always have a solid defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have to play the Browns, who are just dysfunctional, but now it seems like they possibly might have gotten over that.
I'd
We
love to
say
see the
that,
Browns get going.
I
man.
know.
Oh, we would.
Oh, I'd love that.
But that's 3 teams you have to play. That's
I'd love
6
to see the
games out of
Lions.
the year. Yeah,
yeah,
well,
well, they
that's
never
a different
will.
story, buddy. They
I stuck with the Lions during the 0-16 season.
That's tough.
0-16.
Why?
I just stole my.
You know Calvin Johnson like grew up right around here.
Yeah, he went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, but that's one thing. But
Yeah.
to, like,
He went to
grow up-
Sandy Creek.
I think he has a place in Atlanta, Buckhead right now. But,
Yeah.
That's badass.
But yeah, no, I stuck with the Lions through the bad times and not the not good times. There hasn't been any good times.
There has
Let's be
literally-
honest.
it
The
is
owner's
cold.
terrible. The owner needs to go.
Yeah.
Is that a commercial break?
Yeah, but we just keep
Who are
going.
you sponsored by?
Who would I'm obviously not. But
one person.
one person.
Sponsor this
Oh.
podcast.
It's easy. It's who I pick.
Oh, I know you should be sponsored by.
Taylor Made.
No, Hunter versus the Hunted.
Oh, that's a great. That's a little.
Dude,
web
now
series
that I've got
Are we
the
on? Are we
drone,
on?
we're
Yeah.
going.
I'd like to announce the sponsorship of Hunter versus the Hunted for this podcast.
Hunter versus the Hunted is brought to you by viewers. Just
Do you want
like
to tell
you.
them what it is? 'Cause
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
so,
who is not.
Last year, we kind of started the name of Hunter versus the Hunted. It's a
That went that
podcast
weird.
that
Yeah.
Quentin and I are kind of producing.
Nah, it's
Uh,
Whiskey D's.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's a different one. This is more.
There's a lot of
This is a
podcasts.
hunting focus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this one just
I-
talks about just a man and his journey to hunt some big game.
Would you consider yourself a man?
Now, yes, I'm married.
Now, yeah.
Married and 24.
So
Almost
that's all it
25.
Is
takes.
marriage what it takes?
I feel like once you get past once you graduate college
Yeah,
and you get a job, that's what makes you. I feel like that's the man status, right?
I'm still waiting. Then.
we're still unemployed. Yeah, but we're loving the unemployment life.
You guys kind of like men.
No,
I'd say
we're
I'm kind
men.
of a man. I could put that on.
You're not a boy, so you gotta be a
Here.
man.
I'm in between. This is an in betweener, I guess.
Being a man.
To be a man, you know.
No, you're a man.
Thank you. That's probably the
Yeah,
best
we're men.
compliment I've ever gotten.
We're men. You're a man.
Now that we're men, boom. All right. So
Yeah.
last question. Where does this has been all football themed today, but since we have two experts, obviously, I mean, we have somebody who worked for the Falcons.
They did.
We're not gonna say.
Worked for the Falcons for a year as a contract position, so it wasn't full time, but
So he's a football analyst level of expertise. pretty
some
much.
say.
Yeah,
He shook hands with Matt Ryan.
I did.
That is cute.
I actually will have to
He
post
cr-
that video later.
that's
Yeah,
very
it is pretty
respectful.
funny.
we can actually, if
He
you send it
walks
to me,
right in.
I'll include it in the video.
Ooh,
right,
yeah,
right
yeah,
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
shook
no.
his hand, man.
Yeah.
He walks right in, and they're like doing the drums, right?
It was
And
awesome.
you hear him, and then you just see Hunter pop out of nowhere, and he's
like,
like, "Hi, I'm Matt."
and
Hi,
and
you're
Hunter's like,
Matt?
"Ah, it's great." I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"You look
he's so
happier
happy.
than the day that you like proposed to your wife."
Dude, I love Matt Ryan. I don't know, man.
He's a good family dude. He just needs a line to protect him. Then he gets his passes in.
I think-
the
I
guy
mean-
gets a bad rep.
Yeah,
Such
he
a
really
bad rep
does.
in Atlanta.
Dude.
People hate him, and I'm like, get the man a line.
The past 2 years, or like the 2 years after the Super Bowl and his MVP season. So he had the MVP season. Then his numbers got better over the next 2 years, and people are like, he's terrible. It's all his fault.
It's his fault. We suck. No.
Even
no.
if you had a mobile quarterback, they'd be in the same position, getting injured more. I think.
Yeah, no, just
But-
they need an offensive line.
All right. So that kind of does lead us into the last question, though. Where does Justin Fields rank, and where will he rank compared to the other dual threat quarterbacks in the league? The Russell Wilsons,
Elite.
Kyler,
When he goes to the league.
yeah, Kyler Murray,
Better than
Lamar.
Kyler Murray.
I mean, did you watch Kyler at Oklahoma though?
Yeah, he's
And
in a
his
perfect system. And how is that going for him
Dude,
now?
all right.
It's all about where
I'm
these
not
guys
gonna
land.
Justin Fields is dirty. He's a good player. Awesome
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
However, look at the competition in the Big Ten. I'm just going to be honest.
And what I said
Look at-
last season,
Ohio State runs over everyone in the Big Ten. Michigan,
yeah,
mediocre, because Harbaugh is the most overrated coach I've ever seen in my life. Hasn't won a Big Ten championship since he's been there.
him or Dan Mullen, who's more overrated?
Definitely.
Harbaugh, every time.
Well, because he went to the NFL. I
Yeah,
mean,
no. He hasn't done anything with Michigan, and Michigan wanted to give him a lifetime. At one point, they were talking about a lifetime contract, which is a joke. I wish they did.
I don't think those should exist unless your name's Ed Orgeron, just
Yeah.
because he's an icon.
But I get to the point. Ohio State, not much competition there.
Yeah.
You know, Nebraska's good every once in a while. You got Michigan State. They haven't been good.
They had Minnesota be good.
Minnesota
this
was
past-
good this year. Minnesota
Penn
was
State
good.
was all right.
Nebraska, though.
I mean,
Go
They're
Cor-
ass,
Go
man.
Cornhuskers.
They're ass.
Yeah, you know.
They're an awful team.
all I'm saying is, aside from Penn State,
Yeah.
Minnesota last year, Ohio State,
There's two teams.
Justin Fields was able to rake up his stats.
Can we
That's
also
right.
talk
Rutgers.
about how
Rutgers,
all right,
man.
not to
That's
get-
it. That's the debate.
not
Not
to-
worst team.
not to get too much on Michigan or anything, but
Yeah,
like,
sorry.
can we talk about how Florida just because they beat them in what was it
Peach Bowl.
the Peach Bowl? Yeah, they're like now everybody's like Florida's the team to beat in the East. I'm like, we've won for the past 3
Did they do
years.
that this year?
They're saying it again already. Florida is the team to beat for this next year. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
we have
true.
literally won the past 3. Like, even if you think they're gonna be better, that's like a terrible headline to say about it all.
The scary part is when you beat a team 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
Eventually, you're gonna have to.
Eventually, you're gonna lose. You are. I
Yeah.
hate to say it, but
I hope I'm never at that game.
you gotta hope.
but
I hope I'm not. You guys want to go to Georgia, Florida this year?
Do we
I'll go
every
every year, every year,
I'll
man.
join you this
We
year.
dance in the parking lot after we win.
Is it weird to go to Frat Beach as a non?
I think it's only
I
weird if
would
you point it out.
suggest it.
No one would know.
That's what I'm saying,
You
man.
just dress up in a costume and just vibe.
Yeah.
I don't think I would suggest it.
No, yeah. As long as you're with buddies. If you're not with buddies, it's just weird.
You should not go until you're like 40 again,
That's
and
weird.
then when it's obvious
might
that you're
get
too
it.
old.
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
a few
Harry-
like
Harry-
friends whose moms like went.
I know some parents go and they're just like have fun with it, and they don't really participate, but they just sit and watch. I've seen those people.
That's even weirder.
But you're an adult. What fun
Would you
stuff is
watch
there
Yeah,
to do?
what you
Would you
watch?
watch your son or would you watch your daughter?
Ooh, you don't? All right. Oh my gosh. I don't know who would disappoint you more, honestly.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed in both.
Yeah.
First time I've ever seen a man straight up look at me and say, "Hey, I'll take this picture with you, but I have to do this keep up of cocaine." And I walked away. This past year at Florida, Georgia.
And he was dressed up as a pastor.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that wasn't him?
I saw Buddy do a keep up of cocaine.
On the beach?
Florida,
wow.
Georgia.
Okay,
And
no, the
as soon as that happened, I was like, alright, I'm walking away.
Well, the pastor was this guy who had like a jug of Clorox and whatever was in there, you know? And he had a sign that says underage drinking is for sinners. And he was just
drinking.
yeah, it was killing
That's
me,
not
bro.
no, he was
That's
being,
not-
He was dressed
being the people that sit out front
Oh,
of
that's-
the
Yeah.
stadium.
That's cool.
Yeah, he had the mic and he was preaching and everything, but it was like it was extremely blasphemous, but it was
Oh,
like
that's
At the same time, for like those,
hilarious.
Yeah.
those people
But-
are.
yeah.
That might cost him a few years. you
Yeah.
know?
No, I mean honestly,
Tell
those
the,
people
story about the beast, or is it the animal? Who is it? What is?
I could honestly, that would be a whole podcast in itself.
So alright, give us a short wrap up of
A guy named Jay, won't give you a last name for privacy,
it.
but we had a friend named Jay. You know, just a country as can be.
Big
Yeah.
country.
Big country.
Grown from the cornstalk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. South Georgia. So, and actually no, Wade. So he was one of those country folks that was north Georgia. Like
Like Blairsville.
Like a
yeah,
different
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of-
yeah.
so not
we
South-
are not crapping on Blairsville.
I don't have
Nothing
anything against it,
people
but-
from Blairsville.
no.
It's a region.
Yeah. No.
It is a region and it's in the north.
But anyway, so this guy
Dang,
named
I'm
I'll
not
Jay.
say Elgin because
Yeah.
I know a few people.
So
LJ is great. They have apple picking. Sorry,
So
go
you're
ahead.
it's good. It's good to know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
LJ
this
is
guy
great.
named Jay, country as you can get. We nicknamed him the animal. I'm just gonna cut the story way short because we can talk forever.
Yeah.
We nicknamed him the animal throughout college because the man would put down beers like no one, like anyone I've ever
The
met.
picture I saw, he had an Amish beard where no mustache,
yeah.
but it's
So
just
he looked
straight
like-
from here.
He looked like just to give you a little description, you look like Dwight's brother.
Oh yeah, he did because
Mose,
of
yeah.
Mose.
He looked
Mose.
like Mose, but like bigger too.
So
So
He's ripped.
imagine Mose just slamming beers left
And ripped.
Oh yeah. So anyways, I gave him. We needed costumes for Frat Beach. I gave him a Minotaur costume.
See, I
Well, it
was,
was more like a half man,
Yeah.
half horse, but
Yeah.
we called him the Minotaur.
for the longest time, I thought it was a centaur. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was
a min-
Centaur.
Yeah.
Either way, but it was a half.
Oh,
man,
it
half
is. So,
horse.
it was.
Well, anyways, Jay, the animal, he disappeared on the beach. We knew
Yeah.
he would, so we didn't really keep up with him.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, he gets back to the hotel. When you look at his back, he has cuts all over his back. We're like, animal, what happened? He's like, well, I went to go take a pee, and by the marsh, and the cops saw me. I was like, yeah, what'd you do? Well, I had my Minotaur costume down to my ankles. So, like, you got to picture this. The man was pretty much
But
butt naked, peeing in the marsh. Anyways, he said, well, I pulled my Minotaur costume up and I ran to the marsh and hid in there. And he said that the cops literally saw him like 50 feet, but the cops wouldn't go in the marsh because they didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So the animal was tucked in the brush, looking at the cops like, come here. And that's where all the cuts are from. They're from the thorns. So as soon as he just waited the cops out.
That's
Is that not
incredible.
insane?
That's
Incredible.
awesome.
It was a great story. So he waits the cops out.
How long did they wait? Did they say?
Oh, he said like 30 minutes. He just stared at him. I have a picture of the animal.
yeah, like from
right,
that day.
Right after when he came back out to be with us.
All right, send us that and
That's a
the
great
other
picture, too.
video, and we'll
Oh.
put them up.
We
I mean,
should get,
that's
honestly,
a privacy thing. That we'll blur out the face.
No, honestly though, Jay would want to be on this podcast.
Oh,
the
okay.
animal.
Next time.
One day we'll get him. I haven't
Yeah.
talked to him about
absolutely.
2 years. I'll get it. I'll find him.
All right, so just
I
to
haven't talked to him in 2 years.
He might be
I haven't
hiding in a
talked to him
marsh.
since, but
He might be hiding in a marsh. But all right, so just to wrap this up so we can go watch The
Yeah.
Last Dance. All right, so talking about dual threat quarterbacks, what about Lamar Jackson? All right, bomber?
what makes us the
Baller.
football?
Baller.
What makes us the football experts?
I don't know. We're
Uh,
white males. Nobody cares about our
contract
opinions
intern
anyway.
with Falcons.
I don't know.
Starting wide receiver in high school.
What are y'all's fantasy resumes? You've won before.
I have a good resume right now.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happened last year?
I got second place.
You
Second
did,
and
didn't you?
third right
Bad.
there. That's what we should
It
call
was
the
a bad.
podcast.
It was a bad. So it was a bad.
Bad
loss.
championship too,
It was a
wasn't
bad
it?
championship because like I dominated in playoffs. And
Yeah.
that championship, my team just didn't.
would you say you were an animal?
Okay, here's the thing. The first year we played, though, you have to remind them that, like, the first year we played, you didn't even have playoffs.
Yeah, well, it was the best record.
Best record, like, and at that point, I was like, are we playing soccer?
Well, if your team dominates throughout the season, honestly, that's a good victory. Playoffs, dude. I like playoffs because it gives everyone a chance.
Luck. It's luck, man. That's the best part. That's why I play it because it's gambling.
My friend in the championship had Lamar and he obviously killed it all season. And he had Lamar in the game that like he put up like crap numbers. I can't remember
because he was done.
And it was like the week before playoffs started, and Lamar didn't care. And so he like
that's why playoffs
he lost.
Hurt.
Yeah,
that's why. So
I don't know, man. Maybe if you start, I hate to say it, but like start playoffs like week 14
earlier.
Even earlier, where they're still like
10 through 12 would probably be a good
I would
place
still
to
do a regular season champion to get money.
Yeah.
You won.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm in.
You should be pro this.
Yeah. Because
so all right. So do you think Lamar will be better than Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
And do you think Fields has potential to be better than Lamar?
As long as Lamar keeps his head on straight and doesn't get in any trouble or get injured, then he'll be good.
Lamar's gotten better every year. Like from year 1 to year 2, drastic.
But Russell Wilson, I don't think we've seen a QB like him be like a dual threat QB be this good late in his career.
I agree.
He's not really dual threat, man. It's more the fact that he just extends plays.
That's true.
It's like Joe Burrow in college.
Yeah. Like you can't say he's dual threat.
That's a good comparison, honestly.
Russell Wilson and Joe Burrow.
Oh, that's a good comparison. They kind of have a same play in a way. Scrambling.
Who's taller?
That's what I'm curious because got to be taller.
He's got to be, but like Russell Wilson's just, I don't know, man. It's a different level. He's picked what, 6th round, 5th round. He was picked late round.
So Joe is 6'3".
Could have played baseball.
6'3" is tall.
And Russell might be pushing like 6 foot.
Everyone on the field looks.
Russell Wilson's 5'11".
Yeah, exactly. Boom, nailed it.
I mean, honestly, I thought he should have been MVP last season. I mean, obviously Lamar
he can win MVP every season, man, because he's like for what Seattle is.
And their O-line is terrible. I mean, like somebody put something comparing O-lines and the amount of sacking and all that, and like Russell Wilson just killed it. So do you think Fields? I mean, obviously it's really early. We've seen one season in the Big Ten. Do you think he has potential to be better than Lamar?
Depends where he ends up, man.
Really?
Depends where he ends up. That's how it works.
It'd be funny if he ended up with the Lions.
Oh, dude.
That'd be awesome, man.
Then
I'd jump on the Fields train. I'm a little hurt when he left, but
if he came back to the Falcons, man, that would be my partnership with the Falcons done.
I agree.
Done. I don't care at that point.
Why would he ever go?
I love Matt Ryan. I love him as a guy.
Yeah.
But I hate to say it, what do you say? 3 more years? 4 more years? Then he's gonna retire.
At the top,
maybe less. Honestly,
his contract has 2 more years, right?
I think 2 years, 2 to 3 years. And
so after that, Falcons, they're probably looking for a quarterback. Why would you not?
Probably next year.
To groom him up.
Probably next year, right?
Matt's wing. I can see that happening.
And Fields is drafted next year, right?
That could actually. It's gonna be potential. We're saying it right here, folks.
I hope not.
Justin Fields.
God, I hope not.
Who cares?
All right, so
just get the people going.
We're gonna go watch The Last Dance now. I hope everybody was thoroughly entertained by this wild conversation. But that's the end. Go Dogs, and enjoy.
From North Carolina, standing 6'6", shooting guard, Michael.
I'm just watching
Jordan.
Hunter's face. All right. That's
Cheers.